When your Uber driver drops you off, do you do a lot of thumbs up? Great conversation.
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
How much do you tip though?
It's either all fives or it's a 1 because it was a terrible situation.
At least 20%.
Listen, I'm a 20% guy. It's very rare I go above, but I never go below. Okay? You know what? I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
Did you guys want to start the conversation talking about that? Because we can get into it, okay? Do you guys want to divide our audience immediately? Let's go.
Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where three friends, three amigos, three bambinos come together, talk about nerd shit. We got a packed week this week, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about a Hitman. We're going to talk about trailers. We're going to talk about the box office. We're going to talk about what we're into. We're going to talk about the news. Before we do all that, my name is Luis Gonzalez, and with me is
Miguel Sanchez.
And Deadpool.
And
cheers.
Big news, guys. Oh, cheers. Yes,
Hey,
sorry.
guys, we're back to our regular format. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
really
it's,
are.
It's when. Oh, well, I was traveling, but we're back. You know,
We're back better than ever. This is going to be a long episode. I can tell you that right now.
I saw the notes. I was like, oh fuck, we're gonna be here all night. They
We
got
get
it back in
strapped in.
Colorado because that central time zone can fuck itself.
Ed, what time is it over there?
Oh, 9:13.
Ooh, it's a sweet 7:13 over here.
Yeah,
Ooh.
the sun is still
So
up where I'm
early.
at.
You could
Yeah,
like
look at this.
finish and do whatever you want.
I've got to I have to dim it over here so that it doesn't just overexpose my video.
Yeah. It's nice.
Sony has just acquired Alamo Drafthouse Cinema in a landmark deal that puts studios back in the theater game. Ed, you put this on the docket. Why don't you just take it away for us?
I did. Well, first thing I thought of was Miguel. He's such an Alamo Drafthouse fool. And as in like fan. Like your head. Like
You're as big a
I was like,
Drafthouse idiot.
like I'm a fool for you kind of thing.
Sure.
Whatever. So this was just interesting that we discussed it a little bit. This is the first major Hollywood studio in 75 years to basically have its own theater chain, which was a part of the Paramount consent decrees, which dictated that theaters weren't allowed to own their own exhibition company. I don't know what started that, but that was overturned. Right, sure. Over in 2020, it was overturned. So this is, I guess, the first studio.
Wow.
We were talking earlier that, Amazon and Netflix have bought maybe just a single theater in
Right.
maybe a major city, right? Like Netflix has a theater in New York, and I think that was a big part of the technicality of being entered into awards, specifically the Oscars. You have to have a theatrical release in order to have your movies nominated for an Oscar. So I think that was Netflix's slight loophole. Of course, they do an expanded release of some movies, but generally speaking, it's very limited. But anyway, all that to say is, Sony Pictures has acquired Alamo Drafthouse. And this is interesting. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but I think over the weekend, there were 3 Dallas-Fort Worth locations that overnight were all shut down of Alamo Drafthouse. And the employees found out about it just
as they were walking in, trying to walk into work.
Essentially the morning of. It just happened overnight. And 3 locations in that one area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, all closed. So this following that made it all the more intriguing. So thoughts?
I think it's weird. I don't know why studios are buying movie theaters when movie theaters are struggling to survive.
Dying.
Yeah,
I'm like, is this a way to funnel that content? You know what I mean?
No one's going to watch Morbius or Madam Web, so we're going to put it in all of these Alamo Drafthouse
We'll
theaters.
make you watch our movies.
Yeah. You will watch Kraven the Hunter.
It will be interesting to see how this affects the Alamo Drafthouse experience, which I feel like is and very beloved in the movie community, right? Generally speaking, I mean,
I think about our friend Josh in Houston, who lives quite a far ways away from, shout out Josh, to the Alamo Drafthouse. And he goes all the way to Lost in Terror to go see it, and it's like, okay, that's like a pretty far drive with traffic.
But he loves that theater, so
just to go to that, for that theater experience.
What is it about the theater? Is it the food eating aspect? Is it the like? What is it about?
Actually, because he does order food every time we go. Whereas, like,
that sounds like you have a problem with that. Okay, big boys like to eat. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm ordering food. My boy Joshy knows what's up, okay?
It just makes me sweepy, you know? I like to watch my movie, you know, sober and undeterred, you know.
No, I will say it is like when you're eating like chicken strips or something, kind of feels okay because it's like a hand thing, pizza maybe. But then they're like, have this fucking like Hatch green chili breakfast egg burger. And you're like, this is a lot of work. I can't eat this. I'm trying to watch this movie. Plus, like, I hate the sound of like chewing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, someone right next to you just chewing a wet burrito.
Volume up just a little bit more, like white shush.
That's one thing about the Alamo Drafthouse is the volume is never high enough. It feels like depleted somewhat. You know what I mean? Like I saw Battle on there, and I just remember feeling like if I had seen that in a regular theater or IMAX, I feel like the sound of that movie and the music, what's more, would have just like blown my socks off. But you know, literally. 3 martinis in 3 hours, you know, I'm just like, but whatever. Anyway, I digress.
Is it also, I haven't been there in a while, but is that one where you push a button and then someone's like, "Hello, what do you want?"
Yeah,
and then you're like, "I'd like a burger."
You write down your order. You have like a pencil, paper.
Because like you press the button, but then you're writing it down, and you feel almost like I could just type what I wanted, and you would just bring it. You know what I mean?
Oh, like but if you had, were you writing it down, or do they leave like a piece of paper? Wait, so you're just telling me they leave paper and pen in front of you like a pew?
Scrap pieces of paper.
Are they well cut, or are they just ripped like someone's having a bad
squares? They're like
can you imagine it's like inserts from previous menus, and there's like we're gonna use them somehow.
Are they branded, or are they just blank ass? No,
they're blank sheets of paper. It's like printer paper cut up 8 times.
And what kind of pen and paper? Pen and pencil.
It's the kind of pen you would find at a bank when you're going to sign a
clicky or no clicky.
Banks have better pens. To be honest,
does that have a click aspect or no click?
No,
like
click.
Just a pen without a cap.
Luis, you know, think about a clicky pen. I'm gonna follow through on this. Okay. A clicky pen. Okay?
A clicky pen. Yeah.
A clicky pen, and then you like take off. You know, like the little cone at the front of the pen.
Yeah.
Maybe you unscrew that because you were gonna replace the thing or whatever. But you don't replace the thing. You just leave the ink thing in there. You click it out with no guard, and that's the type of pen.
Oh,
that's okay. It's the most minimal, device of writing.
It's not. It's not like a comfort thing.
And
I don't love that.
Hold it under you have to hold it under the light.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, they need to start incorporating. You guys will love this. A touch screen. To order your.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I feel like I should just be able to like bop bop bop. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, what could I have now?
I will say one of the worst experiences as far as like food in theaters. I don't mean to go on a tangent here. I'm sorry.
No, please.
Like I'm back. You know.
Yeah.
Was I shout out Eric Jew, who came to Colorado for like a month last year. We went and saw Blue Beetle at an AMC dine-in theater, okay?
Right, yeah.
And it was, you had to order all of your food up front at the counter, and then they just brought it to you one time. And I was like, I don't even know what I want. All of a sudden I'm ordering, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hated that experience.
Yeah.
But no, I think what drives people to Alamo Drafthouse is simply just the etiquette that they really enforce. You know what I mean?
Like people eating not too loudly.
Yeah. No, not about the food. It's just like don't talk, don't put your phone on silent, don't text. I told you guys, I texted you in the middle of the movie one time, and then everybody came up to me and said, "Hey, put your phone away." I was like, "Oh shit, my bad."
Does the waiter cross people who are watching the movie?
Yes, but they duck.
Yeah, they duck.
Okay, so I can't bring up my phone. And I can't talk loudly, but the volume is low, and people are walking in front of me the whole time.
They crouch. It's a good time. I think Alamo's a good time.
You know what you're getting. You should know what you're getting into. I mean, when you're going to an Alamo Drafthouse, so you're either on board or you're not. But I think it also has a lot to do, again, with that kind of movie community feel to it. They always have cool events. They always have retro screenings.
Yeah, that's what's fun.
Like me and Josh, another shout out to Josh. We went to go see a Bad Valentine screening of Phantom Thread, and they did like a high tea concept with it. So it was like mini sandwiches, tea, biscuits and stuff
I see.
like
That's
that.
kind of fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and it came with like its own little memorabilia card. But yeah,
so if you went to go see Fast and the Furious, they'd give you like Coronas and like tacos.
I'm sure they can't hand out alcohol.
Do something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Eventually, but maybe
family.
At least I'm kind of blown away that. I mean, I guess so. I used to go to this Alamo Drafthouse all the time, and then I got the AMC subscription. Is that what happened to you? You're just AMC.
I'm
right?
just in the. I'm literally by 3 AMC theaters in a 5-minute.
I get that. You can't. It's right there. You what are you going to do? Venture out unless it's like a real specific event.
I don't even know the closest Alamo Drafthouse is, but
mine is that La Centera one. They closed the other one, which I never
that's
knew
even
where
farther for you. That's insane.
Yeah. So I generally, but it will have those odd indie movies that a lot of theaters don't. Like I saw The Tragedy of Macbeth there, the recent one with Denzel Washington. Nowhere else was screening it. Yeah, so I don't know. It makes an argument. All that to say, like, what is Sony going to do with it? What business is going to go on there?
It is going to... I feel like it's just going to make it bland and corporate and... You know what I mean? Like, think about... I don't know. Just anytime something was, like, mainstreamed, it becomes less of that, like, fun core, Yeah. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm complaining over here to our podcast accounting side. Anyway, Alamo Drafthouse. It's in downtown. We'll see what happens with Sony. They're either going to be putting more theaters or less.
Or less. I was going to say, there's someone else having a pretty bad time at the theaters right now.
Who?
Anya Taylor-Joy and George Miller. Okay. You guys, Furiosa? This is bullshit. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, Ed.
No,
Ed,
I
did you remember the? Okay,
yeah.
There we go.
Everybody, shut up. I've got it in front of me. Yeah.
How many theaters, Ed?
Less than the amount of horses that died at Waterloo, Miguel, but it was insane. 880. 880 plus is the report that Furiosa left that many theaters over the weekend.
And it's only been out for a few weeks. Fall Guy, we were just complaining about that. Fall Guy just went to streaming, or VOD 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks after it was released.
Right.
Guys, no one is going to win the summer movie wager, okay? On this bullshit model of releases
every 2 weeks.
Summer. Come on. It went a piss poor summer.
And that's the thing is like studios act surprised, like, it was a failure. Better just send it to streaming. You know what happened as soon as they took it out of that many theaters? It dropped 60+% like that weekend. I'm not saying it would have like brought in all the dough over the weekend, but it would have made money. It would have continued making money in those places. Obviously Bad Boys for Life did very good, but not everybody was going, when did
Furiosa come out? When did that movie come out?
Memorial Weekend, so May 24th.
May 24th. Okay.
Late May.
I'm going to May 24th, and I'm looking this up. Furiosa Mad Max Saga came out to 3,804 theaters.
Yeah.
So they dropped over 880. So there's still 2,000. But comparatively, so Furiosa 3,800. The Garfield movie, that came out with 4,000 theaters.
Guys, I said this in the group chat. We saw Garfield while we were in Texas. We were at what was used to be called the Palladium. It's just a Cinemark. Cinemark bought it. And they had 1,000 showings for this movie throughout the day. We picked a random one, and it was like a huge theater, bigger than some of these Alamo Drafthouse theaters. It was a huge theater, and we were the only 3 people in there watching fucking Garfield.
Really?
The only 3 people.
That's why that theater has handed off like I don't know, to 3 different owners at least.
We could own that theater. We could
down.
Manage that theater. We have a section for the podcast. Have a Chili's inside there, and then have
you're fucking talking, Luis. Put a Chili's in there. That's going to drag people in. Yo,
people already go to Chili's after a movie theater. Just put it in the theater.
That's what I'm fucking saying, Luis. Dude, right next to that theater, my in-laws live in that area. That's why I'm familiar with it. Right next to that theater is that furniture store, Ed, Mattress Mac.
Gallery.
That? Gallery Furniture, okay? And I want to say in Gallery Furniture is a fucking Mexican restaurant.
Really?
Yes. And it's like, I've eaten there, you know?
But you haven't eaten there just to eat at that restaurant. You happened to eat there when you were getting mattresses, right?
I was
like, let's go to the Gallery Furniture Mexican restaurant.
I was taken to the Mexican restaurant at the Gallery Furniture, okay? No, that's what I'm saying. I would totally, I just saw the movie. Yo, let's pop over to this Chili's. It's not even to go, it's to stay, you know? Let's eat.
Let's chat about the movie over with some margs, some sweet ass margs.
Pulled out one that used to be across from the IMAX, Miguel, Regal Edwards.
Was it a Chili's? No,
it was a Mexican restaurant.
Oh God, they shut that Mexican place down, and then that was one of my favorite places to go.
Oh, but man, they are like turning that whole place around. They're gonna have like
this section of the podcast has been just for the Houston movie theater audience.
Yeah, sorry about
thank
that,
you,
folks.
Thank you for everyone listening right now.
Houston starts with the letter H. Another thing that starts with the letter H is horror. And Blumhouse, the leader of horror movies, is actually pivoting to games. They've announced their first 6 video games.
Let's hear them.
Known for Get Out, Insidious, and Megan. Wait, no, that's the next.
No.
I've got the games. I've got the games here.
Now coming in 2026. Known for Get Out. 4. Okay, what are these games?
All right, Fear the Spotlight.
Into your mic.
Oh, sorry. Fear the Spotlight. Sleep Awake. Crystal Theater of Idols. Grave Seasons. The Simulation. And how many was that?
But what kind of games are these? Are these all horror games?
They mostly seem to be dealing with horror.
Horror.
But if you go over to the Blumhouse website, they have
Blumhouse.
What did I say? Blumhouse?
Blumhouse. Yeah.
Blumhouse.
I thought this was also funny. You know the series Annapurna Pictures?
Yeah. Purina?
Annapurna.
Annapurna?
Is how
I'm looking at it. Well, it doesn't have an I between R and the N.
You know,
that's how you pronounce it.
I mispronounced cotija cheese for about a decade.
Wait.
You know what I mean?
Oh, you said cotija?
I used to say cojita. Which I think sounds better, but it's
I think it sounds better too.
Cojita?
And a Purina, the food for dogs, and a Purina Pictures. They also make some video games as well.
Sorry.
They also make video games as well. They made Stray, that cat game. And they made a couple other ones I don't remember. But so they're not the only company that just makes
That's interesting, though. What do you guys think about being game lovers? Game lovers. Game lovers.
I think it's great. I mean, they make cheap-ass horror movies, but they're very profitable. And I think video games is making money, and they're just kind of expanding themselves. You know, a lot of people may not go to the movies, but they're playing video games. So put that creative genius into a format that people
will embrace.
Yeah. Just to tag on, I mean, it feels like the last 10 years or so, that's just kind of the trajectory that video games have taken. You know what I mean? That they've kind of turned into cinematic events that you're playing as well. And some even more so. Sometimes it's just a video game that's like stretched out and it feels intense like a saga. And sometimes it's like an actual video game that's filmed like a movie.
Yeah.
And you're really barely playing it. And you're basically just watching a movie.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's like I only have 15 minutes to play. God damn it. I've just watched a 20-minute cinematic. No, I guess I can't play. Pretty cool. We'll just see what kind of games come out. That's going to be huge, I think, for
Blumhouse.
I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. It might be. We need a new player out there, so we'll get that going. Apple.
Hey, Luis.
Yeah, what's up?
How did you feel about all this Apple stuff?
Well, surprisingly, I missed out on the whole announcements. I was just going to the bathroom, looking at Talkies, and I saw somebody showcase some new features, and I was like, wait, what the hell is this? And then this morning, I just quickly watched some recaps, listened to a 20-minute podcast about it, and now I have thoughts. I have ranked my top 10 features. Luis Gonzalez, is looking forward to. Okay, different. You might have a different experience than me, and that's great. But these are the ones I'm excited for. So I'm going to go very quickly as much as I can. Number 10. Is this right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number 11. You can lock an app now. So if you're a parent and you give your phone to your kid, they won't open a bunch of apps without like the ability to unlock them. Or also, if you're a little scallywag and don't want people looking at your photos, your calendar, your pictures, it can't be unlocked. And let's say you wrote some naughty messages, or you wrote maybe you have a surprise for your wife and you handed your phone to your wife. If you lock that app, everything inside won't show up in the search engine and won't show up in suggestions. It's just like tucked away. It could be used for nefarious things.
Sorry, cheaters.
Number 10. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that has been a feature for a while now because I've used it a lot with my kid. But I'm assuming, I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming what you're talking about is like a simple just lock feature where you can just like turn it on.
I think it's just lock individual apps.
Yeah, because like right now what I'm doing is like if I hand my kid my phone and it's got YouTube on it, I'm one of those parents, I'm sorry.
Right.
If I hand my kid my phone with YouTube on it, I can do, what's that called? Guided access. You know what I mean? And that's what it's the same thing. It locks.
It keeps it only it keeps it only on YouTube though.
Yes, it so that you're only watching that phone. You can't.
So this gives a little bit more range. You could be like, you can borrow my phone, but you can't look at my photos, my notes, and my calendar.
Yeah. So it's a little more fine tuned.
Yeah, maybe you have an assistant, maybe you have a friend, and I don't know. Number 10, iPad. If this is for students, this is for college students or smart people. Those formulas you used to write in school. Well, now with an iPad and a pencil, you write out the formula, complex ass formula, anything you want, and you put equal, and then it'll spit out an answer. So, we're getting dumber, but the computers are getting smarter.
Yeah, no, baby. He's talking about imagine. No, but he's talking about imagine with the Apple Pencil on the iPad. He's about to show you. With the pencil, you wrote out an equation.
Oh, I see.
It would read the screen. You'd press equals.
Yeah.
And it would automatically solve that complex problem for you. You know what I mean?
See, look, if you do this, oh, fuck.
Just imagine with your eyes.
Yeah, I see it. And then it'll just give you kind of like
if you did something Harry like that,
Potter, yeah.
And then you put an equal, yes, like Harry Potter, you put an equal sign and then the number would magically pop up.
Okay. Well, still kind of like a calculator.
Yes, yes, it's a calculator.
Right.
iPads have never had a calculator, an organic native calculator app, so this is like a big deal for the iPad
but
nerds
imagine,
on the world.
I'm sorry, hang on. But imagine you're in your notes app or whatever, and you just typed something, okay? Like a calculator is so basic. I don't really have strong feelings about this, but it just kind of
sounds like I don't like your
tone. I don't like your tone. That you're just it's just a calculator.
Well, this is it is. I mean, I respect the calculator,
but Ed, how do you type this into a calculator? I mean, maybe people actually know how to do that.
Yeah, there are ways.
Yeah, but long ass ways.
You do it. While he continues, you just do it. Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you do it?
All right,
guys. I don't know how to do that. Come on. Do you think math was my strong suit? Fuck off.
Well, that's why you need this new iPad with an iPad pencil to get you going. That's my number 10.
I write equations like that. Yeah.
That's my number 10. Now my number 9 is okay.
Hey, I'm a regular consumer. I have questions. Fuck off.
I know. They're going to get simpler as they go.
Thank you. Thank God.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. So the next one is number 9. It's called Share Play. Basically, what's going to happen is you ever talk to your mom or somebody you know who's not great with technology, and you're like, just push the button on the top right corner.
Yeah.
And then they're like, there's 3 buttons. And I'm like, okay, but the one that's clearly a button,
Yeah,
they're like, well, I don't have any buttons on my right corner. I was like, God damn it. So here you can now actually highlight things on your end to tell them what to do. Or maybe if that's too much for them, you just say, hey, give me control of your phone. Whoa. And then you can just start saying, let me fix your photos for you. Let me show this. And then you can give them permission and say, hey, I never know how to take photos. I always screenshot them and then send them to you. And then I could be like, here, mom, this is how you share a photo without screenshotting it. That is an option now where you can kind of assist. We can now help Ed. So if you were working on a graphic design, I could say, Ed, I can scribble on the phone and you can see what to do.
Cool.
Okay, number 8. Number 8 is there's this cool noise cancellation thing where if you walk by like a jackhammer that's like bop, 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 it'll cancel out by using AI to like fix your voice. It's pretty cool. Number 7. Oops. Number 8. You can now say yes or no with head movements.
Oh, I loved this.
Yeah. So if you're like, do you want to receive this call? You can just be like, and the phone will just kind of understand. Number 7
sounds dangerous.
Why, Ed?
Wait, why?
If I just feel like it could misconstrue even the slightest nod.
Oh, that's because Ed shakes his head at every single call he gets.
I roll my eyes so hard. But no, I don't know. Yeah, maybe again for simple people like me, I would have complications. But
that's why they just made it too simple.
It's in the headphones. It's not like you're just right. It's not. Yeah, it's not like just any phone. It's like if you have the AirPods in,
you can have the AirPods, and I think without the AirPods,
without too,
it'll notice where your direction's going. They're pretty contrasty, like movements. Like I don't think you can get them confused. Sure. Another one, number 6, I believe. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nope. Number 7. Number 7 is scheduled texts. So say you don't want to text them. You have a terrible memory, but you want to text them now, but you know you'll forget tomorrow, but it's way too late to text them now. So you can schedule it for an 8:02 text message. So it's not obvious you scheduled it.
Like prompt and early. Nice. Is that what you've been doing, Luis?
No, it feels like Luis could benefit.
I could benefit from this. Yeah.
Nice.
Let me not wake them up, but I like waking y'all up if I can. Number 5, is it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? No, number 6. Let me write this down. I think there were 12 in here, and I just misread all this.
Fuck.
Number 6, you can rearrange the tiles on your phone so they don't automatically just take up the top.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. That's good. And you already know Android people are going to dunk on us.
We already did that.
All right, we get it.
Just yeah, but yours is rigid as hell. All right, it's like iPhone's going to have a smooth time. Number 5. Okay, you ever have your phone and be like, "Damn, I wish I didn't have to pick up my phone. I wish my phone was just on my monitor of my computer."
Yeah, all the time.
So now they're doing iPhone mirroring, where you can literally put whatever you see on your phone on the monitor of your computer. So if you're at a desktop and you're at work and you're getting
like a widget on the side, or something?
Yeah. So because there are apps that are very specific to your phone that you can't use on your whatever
a iPad or Mac screen or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So if you like seeing your messages a certain way, if you like seeing Instagram a certain way, if you like just seeing an app a very specific way, or the way you're getting messages a certain way with notifications through an app, maybe you need to stand up, maybe you need to drink water. These are things that aren't integrated fully into your computer, so you can just have your iPhone mirrored as a widget on your computer. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, number 4, photo cleanup. Let's say you take a picture and there's some goober on your left and some geezer on your right. Well, now you can just clean that up, erase them. They never existed. And you get a clean ass photo that you can post. Everybody's going to love, and no one's going to be like, why is that dude picking in the trash can? And they're like, well, that wasn't the point. I was proposing to my wife, but sure.
He just happened to be doing that back there.
Yeah. So now you can remove all the distractions and they can focus on you and those happy moments.
I get
Ed,
that.
Ed, why don't you're like against this?
I'm not against it. I do. Hey, guys, in a world where like truth and facts are so controversial, I just feel like this kind of technology will ultimately have, and I'm thinking on just like a way grander scale than is even necessary at this point, I guess. I'm just going down a rabbit hole of thought. I don't have a personal issue with that. That sounds like a great idea.
I think you're going to use this one day.
I feel like bad people are going to use it for bad things.
Yeah, basically everything Luis has said, there's always been some like, oh yeah, that's going to fuck up our entire life.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. I love the convenience.
I'm a cynic. I'm sorry. Carry on.
It's
a good idea.
Yeah. So photo cleanups, I'm sure we'll all use that. The next number 3, top 3 now. Okay.
For sure.
Yes, for sure. Top 3. I can see it now clearly. You'll be able to format your texts. Okay. So if you wanted to bold, italicize, underline, strike through, if I wanted to say, check this out, and I wanted to tell you this.
Oh, Ed likes.
I do like that.
I mean?
As somebody who is, I try to be very purposeful with my grammar.
Yeah.
Like that, especially in text where everything can be misconstrued.
Yeah, I was going to say tone is so important.
Tone is so important. Like, yes, commas are important, apostrophes.
Well, you can do that now. In text
I take all that. I take all that out.
No, I know I could do that now, but yes, italicizing, like, when we're talking, we're like, you. Just like that little you.
Yeah.
No, I dig that. I genuinely dig that. Instead of like all caps where you're just like, you.
Yeah. It's going to add some color, which I really like.
Yeah.
Number 2 is
best one yet, by the way.
Thank you.
Ed's so charged up right
that's
now.
Why, that's why it's my number 3, Ed.
I can only go up from here.
This one actually you're going to hate. It's going to be very controversial. I'm sorry. It's going to actually be what I'm interested in seeing is the new
have it on your right ear.
Apple Intelligence, which is like their AI. Why they called it Apple Intelligence to be an acronym for AI, I don't know.
Really, you don't
capitalism, Luis.
They couldn't like align themselves with something else. Like we are. It doesn't matter. So it's supposed to. It's all. But the thing that they're pushing is that it's all actually in a private server. So you have all these other AI stuff, and they're on a server in God's know where, and it's talking to the internet, and so anybody can kind of infiltrate. The way that it's going to work here is they have very secure servers somewhere where that information is only kept in that server. It doesn't get spread around like kind of artificial intelligence does now, where it's pulling from everybody's experiences everywhere. This is like its own place. And so you can have a conversation with it. You can make mistakes with it when you're like, hey, can you set a timer for 15 minutes? It'll be a lot easier because for me, I've had a lot of times when I'm yelling at Siri, like I am having a fit where I'm like, no, Siri, God damn it. What time is this thing?
When I talk to, I don't want to say her name because she's sitting right here, but when I talk to the Jeff Bezos' robot, okay?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And like, tell me why I set up all these fucking routines. And every time I say, Alexa, run routine, whatever the routine name is, she's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's
like, you bitch. Like, why did I type all this shit out if you're not going to just do it?
Yeah.
Also, Luis, I was sitting here thinking, you were kind of caught up on the name, but I just want you to know, whatever intern wrote AI and then wrote Apple. They were immediately promoted. Okay,
like they don't have to work anymore.
No, they were like, how much money do you want a year? Because you got it. You know what I mean?
No, I've definitely been very frustrated just asking simple things to Siri, and then it's like I don't understand. I can't do this. I try to rephrase it, and it's just like, I've had a lot of drama about that. So
this fucking light in the office right here, I tell her, turn the office light on. She goes, that doesn't support that. So I say, so then I have to say, turn I said the office light on, and then I'm like, the light in the office on, or something like that. I have to add like 3 more words. And she's like, oh, did you want to turn the office lamp on?
Yeah.
Like, you knew that's what I wanted.
And after like having my guest,
did you say
a couple weeks, huh?
Please? Did you say please?
I will say she does catch an attitude because when I yell at her sometimes, then she raises her volume, and I'm like,
she doesn't, does she really?
I swear to God, I swear to God,
doesn't happen.
No, ask Kristen. Get on the phone after this podcast.
No, that's just your blood
Kristen.
pressure going up.
I swear to God, because we both comment on it. We're both like, whoa, like, take it down. Like, why are you shouting right now?
Unfortunately, the voice has not changed. Listen, it's 2024. We need better voices than, okay, how can I help? Like, if you're telling me intelligence, then I want a smooth ass voice. Sure. All right. My number one is going to be, those little, like, when you get a text message and you tap back, you hold it down and you can do a thumbs up, thumbs down, a question mark. Yeah. All right. You can now tap back with any emoji, baby. Okay. Do you know Instagram? How many times? Yes, like Instagram. Do you know how many times I've wanted to expand my lexicon and my way of communicating outside of those 4 or 5 little signiants? Yeah. That's why I started using stickers. If you notice in our conversations, I will like put stickers as a reacting.
You guys have got me into stickers.
Yeah.
It really does. It really does like expand that option.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of times you'll be like, yeah, exactly. Sometimes you put the thumbs up and like, oh, Ed, why did you like that? It's like, well, no, liking means I agree with it.
Understood.
Yeah, you're like, I just got fired from my job, but I had a really great sandwich today. And he's like, and you're like, wait,
why do you like that I got fired?
The first half of that message sucked.
But the sandwich, though.
Yeah.
But then you add a sandwich sticker, and you're like,
that's,
I get it.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Like,
it's pretty good, right? Not bad as number one.
I do wonder, is this like a millennial thing? You know what I mean? Is this going to be like some sort of like generational thing that we'll get made fun of? Like, did you guys know recently we're getting made fun of for ankle socks?
Yes, I do know that. Yeah.
Okay. But anyway,
like the ones that cut below the ankle?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? The no-show ankle socks?
Like, if you wear ankle socks, you're like, you fell off. You fell off. Major L. You know?
Like, I used to think you looked like a loser if your socks came above your ankles.
Up, yes, and I will die on that hill. Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
But you could just go to Apple and be like, all right, set a timer for 8 years when I can wear ankle socks again, and then just keep going back and forth.
Basically, yeah.
But no, that's just the example. It's just like I feel like also, I guess a more apt one would be like you could tell a millennial because they'll say like LOL at the end of their sentence, and it's like, yeah, that's me. I'm sorry, I say LOL a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if just another way to roast us because I'm like, oh, here's like a fucking star eye emoji, and they're like, okay, settle down.
Yeah. I agree, but they're all going to get old too, and then they'll be made fun of, so they'll just join the party.
I'm just like counting the days. All right,
but yeah, that's my top 12 picks.
Thanks, Luis.
Yeah.
Hey, just out of curiosity, how many changes were there?
Changes?
What? Like you say, these are the updates you liked. Out of how many?
Oh, I don't know.
Was it 13, 14?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Ed, yeah, you're being a silly little goof, but what you can really get down on your hands and knees and pray to the heavens and say thank you for is the fact that your phone supports this iOS update. Okay.
Actually, I was going to say that the iPhone 14 and lower will miss out on some features like the Apple Intelligence.
Well, who gives a fuck about that? But
you say that now.
You're gonna be like, Daddy, can I use Apple Intelligence? Like, sorry, I don't have.
No, Luis, I to your point, I do remember reading that. I think it's even like up to the 15. Like it's like the 15 Pro or Max Pro or whatever. We'll get it. Yeah. But like the 15 itself.
Oh, well, you know me, baby. I go Pro every time.
Yeah, I've learned. I got 3 cameras now.
If you do if you do $45 a month, you can get Pro.
And in California, that's basically free.
It really is. I mean, that's cheaper than a meal. All right,
that's what I'm saying.
Just don't eat for a lunch, and you got an iPhone for a month. All right, so that was the news. Let's move into trailers now. There's been 4 trailers, 3 that we'll talk about mostly, and a 4th one that I just wanted to lightly touch.
There's really like one I want to talk about mostly. The other 2 I threw in because they're older, but I wanted to mention them because they're out there.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay. Go for it.
I know which one Ed's going to stand up for, and you think it's going to be the George Clooney movie, but no.
Fucking A, it is not.
I know what it is.
It's Paddington in Peru. The new trailer. Paddington 2, the masterpiece that it was, is getting a follow-up. Yep. Not from Paul King, who directed the first 2 Paddington movies, but this is coming from Dougal Wilson. And the first trailer just dropped today.
But it makes sense for someone named Dougal Wilson to be directing Paddington.
Yes.
Right.
So Dougal, I have a question about the scene.
Where's the marmalade?
What is my motivation?
You're a bear.
I think Louise, you need to be
Dongle, the bear's not actually here.
So this is the third chapter of the Paddington whatever. He's going to Peru to find his Aunt Lucy, and wouldn't you know it, she's gone on an adventure of her own, and so they go out to find her, does Paddington and the Browns. And on the way, we find people like Antonio Banderas, Olivia Colman. Like every moment that Olivia Colman shows up in this trailer, I'm just like filled with glee because she looks like she's having so much fun. I love Paddington 2. Paddington 1 is solid too, but I'm excited for this. Yeah,
I have a question, and it was an immediate thing that I noticed when I was watching this. I'm the one that put this note in here. Did Sir whatever the head of the family, did he get remarried, or is that a recasting of that
recasting
character?
Sally Hawkins left production on this to join, I guess it was Wonka or something else, and then which was directed by Paul King. And
that makes sense. She's going to follow the director,
right? This is filled in by Emily Mortimer. It's the same role technically, just a different actor.
No, that's what I thought. And I've seen her before, Emily. And now you say that, Emily Mortimer. I know that name. She was on 30 Rock, one of my favorite.
She's been around. Yeah, she's been in just about everything. She's one of those actors, you know.
And she definitely feels like a person that can step into that role.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I was just so taken aback because she is so. The original actress is
Sally Hawkins.
Sally Hawkins,
incredible.
It's so just like charismatic.
Yes, I love Sally Hawkins. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's like, that's she was definitely one of the
highlights of the
sold this franchise.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean? And so I was kind of surprised, but I do like Emily Mortimer. I'm not talking shit about her. I just was kind of shocked to see that was the character we were.
Emily Mortimer was in that movie that Martin Scorsese directed, the kids movie.
She was in Shutter Island.
No, that's not a kids movie I was talking about.
But she was in Shutter Island.
Imagine, hey, Forrest and Lily, let's go see Shutter Island this weekend.
I actually thought you meant the dead kids in that movie.
Ed the family man.
Hugo.
She was in Hugo. She was also in Mary Poppins Returns.
Poppins.
Elizabeth, a lot. She's been in so many things. Anyway, but I'm looking forward to Paddington.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a Paddington pal. Like I love Paddington.
Wow,
hell yeah!
Oh, we stand Paddington in this house. All right, Paddington 2, iconic. We love the Paddington movies here.
Oh, it's so good. So
we are here for it.
They're well liked in my house as well.
Yeah. Anytime we're having a bad, sad day, you put on that barber scene where he's trying to cut that person's hair and accidentally shaves it all off.
Yep,
we're having a riot.
Here's the deal: my wife and son love this movie. I'm just not. This is not. Ed had to get real for this. Okay, I appreciate that. There's something about like a klutz. You know what I mean? That I just
love.
Cannot stand.
Okay. So you must have hated Keenan and Kel, the show.
Well, I was a child when that show aired, so it felt different. Because think about that first Paddington movie. He shows up at this house. First off, like if Kristen was like, "I'm going to bring in this little bear," I'd be like, "I don't really think we should do that." But she's like, "No, it's going to be fine." I'm like, "Okay, I guess. Like if you think it'll be okay." And then
you are Mr. Brown.
Then that night I get out of bed to like the bathroom flooding, right? And he's like, "I've made a sandwich." I was like, Like, I'm kind of furious right now. Do you know how many thousands of dollars, pounds I have to spend to fix this? And I'm supposed to be, I have to go to work tomorrow. I'm exhausted. So no,
it's all for the sake of fun.
Listen, it's fun. It's whimsical. I get it. I'm just saying. No, and then somehow I would get chewed out for being angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Like Mr.
I have emotions.
That's good.
Mr.
Very
Brown.
true to self.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like I said, 5 stars or 1 star. You know what I mean? I'd be like, this is a 1-star bear.
Oh no.
We're just going to let's leave him at the station, dear.
I'd be like, he probably has a microchip. Just send him outside. Like at some vet. We'll pick him up.
Oh man. You were team Nicole Kidman in that first film. You were just like, get him.
He annoys me.
Comes out January 17th.
Oh, yeah.
Comes out January 17th. We will be definitely reviewing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ed, go.
You know who else is annoying or annoyed?
Who?
George Clooney and Brad Pitt for having to work together. Yeah, so this is like a Apple TV produced film, Wolves, where 2 cleaners or hitmen have to put into a scenario where they actually have to work together. This also has Amy Ryan in it. It's directed by John Watts. It looks like a fun little romp. It's nice to have Brad and George back in the game again since like Ocean's 11, 12, 13, etc. But yeah, they're a fun duo. It looks like a fun romp. Anyway, I wanted to give it a shout out because we didn't talk about it.
Just quick little tangent. Amy Ryan can do no wrong. I love everything she's in.
Who's Amy Ryan?
Luis, if you don't know, you don't know. All right.
Hold on. I'll Google it.
Amy. No, I seriously every time she
Amy Ryan. Sorry, she's
every time she shows up,
she brings it.
Yes.
Only Murders in the Building.
But The Office.
Gone Baby Gone.
Yes, but she shows up in these roles, and you're like, "Oh, you're in this movie," and it's going to be a great performance. Even no matter how you feel about the overall product, she's going to turn out a good performance.
Absolutely. So that comes out September 20th.
I'm excited for this because I am a big Ocean's 11 fan.
Yeah.
And obviously George Clooney and Brad Pitt are kind of the dynamic duo in that. And I'm just getting some of that magic again, but not them trying to do Ocean's 14 again.
Right.
So it's a different situation, same charisma, same duo that I'm liking. I'm here for Wolves, and surprise, John Watts, the director of all those Spider-Man trilogy movies, coming out with a movie that's looking pretty clean. You know, compared to maybe some of the Russo brother movies that were a little bit more CGI.
It's like it's a star power, but like that's constantly lacking in cinema today.
Dude, yes. When you say star power, like I saw that and I was like, I'm not here to see what the plot of the movie. I'm here to see the stars of the movie.
Yes.
And so, we haven't had that in a while.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. I feel like we were on board with that in the early 2000s. It kind of faded a little bit. But like they're the like modern day Robert Redford and Paul Newman kind of deal. Like George Clooney and Brad Pitt are it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's if they do a movie every like 5 years, I want it to keep happening.
I love it. Very excited for Wolves coming out September 20th. All right, number 3. What do we got?
Moana 2. It's coming out November 27th. They released a teaser trailer for it. I don't know if you guys are a fan of it. We're a fan of it. In my family, it was like Lily's first big Disney love. Killer soundtrack. In the world of sequels, who needs it? But, I thought Frozen 2 was better than Frozen 1, so maybe this one has a chance.
Killer soundtrack for the first one, but the same Lin-Manuel Miranda will not be in this movie. It'll be a different person.
Thank Christ.
Wait, hold on. You just said the music was great, and then you were like...
It was great, but I don't need the same shit. I need, like, fresh Disney music, not just, like, the same thing that we've been getting from a lot of Disney movie lately.
We are burnt out. We're done. Luis, you're done. We're all over
I'm
it.
done.
Okay?
You're telling me I'm done.
Speaking for everyone, okay?
The culture has spoken.
We're done, okay? Lin-Manuel, thank you. Goodbye. All right.
Take a bow.
Nobody was in the room when it happened, when he got kicked out.
I get it.
Thank you.
Hamilton. But yeah, no, I like it, but like when his musicals are becoming predictable and the way that they flow throughout the story.
That man,
like he even squeezed one into Mary Poppins.
He reignited like musicals.
Yeah, absolutely.
He made his money. You know what I mean? I'm not taking that away.
Yeah, no, he brought a new era to Disney. Yeah. Like a diversified Disney a little bit. And
all right. Well, listen, if the music is bad, I'm blaming you.
Do it. I'll be like, Linny, come back. Lynn.
Yeah.
Lynn, baby.
We'll bring it back. Hi, I'm back. We're talking about sorry. Moana 2 coming out later was a TV series that got transformed into a movie. Could be problematic because of that, because TVs aren't meant to become
it's funny,
movies.
They're coming out with this right before the live action one comes out next year.
Man, what a shit show that's happening.
I also just would appreciate it if I ever go, oh, thank God, on the podcast. Don't follow it up with, well, it's pretty problematic because I'm not trying to get canceled, okay? I was just like, I would prefer a movie. That's all I was trying to say.
Did you hear about Moana? What they did? Okay. This is the last trailer I want to talk about. I know you guys didn't watch the series Arcane. I did season 1. It's definitely, it won a bunch of awards as the best animated series. It is fantastic. The art direction is like across the Spider-Verse level, where it's not the same style, but the dedication and just the attention they put in each single frame, where you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm just seeing art right now. They have these explosive moments where the art direction is really good, and not just that, but the story is really good. It took me time to warm up to season 1. They're divided into 3 kind of chapters, in the sense where when Arcane first came out, they had 3 premiere dates. They had the first premiere date to release 3 episodes. Then you waited like a week or so, and then it released another batch, and then another batch, which is actually my favorite way of releasing movies and releasing TV shows. It allows you to have binge-worthy episodes, but then you still have to wait.
But get that anticipation, that excitement.
Yeah. And I think something like Andor would do really well with it too, because what Andor did was they had each 3 episodes was kind of a mini arc. Right. And the same way works with Arcane in the first season, where each, I think, 3 or 4 or however many episodes is kind of an arc to itself. So the beginning of arc 1, it's kind of like this other tone where you're like, oh, I guess this is where we are. Art style, very cool. But then it locks in and you're just like, this is super dramatic. Great storytelling, especially for an IP that I don't ever follow. It's based off a video game, League of Legends, and I don't know anything about that game. I don't play it. I haven't, and I just jumped in as a fresh viewer, and it was just really well done when it shouldn't have been that well done. And I think it's coming from creatives that aren't forced to turn something in 2 years. Like they're like, yeah, we spent a lot of time on it, and you're just going to have to wait when it's time. And they came out with a new trailer, season 2, and it's the final trailer. So they're just not even going to squeeze it for all it's worth. They're like, this is the story. We're done. So it really does feel like creative people are involved. If I win the summer movie wager, who knows? Maybe I'll make you guys watch Arcane season 1. But I'll go to your house and make sure you watch every single episode. No, it's okay.
Episode 4 is my favorite.
But I just wanted to flag it just for anybody else who kind of might have liked this show. I'm excited about it, and I'll talk more about it as it comes on. But unfortunately, it's a TV show, and it's not a movie. And I can't track how much money it would have made if it was released in theaters. But we can do is Ed can take it away and talk about the summer box office and track those movies.
All right, I'll just do a quick update. Fly through. So our latest entry was Bad Boys Ride or Die, which actually opened hella strong to the sound of like 52 million Domestically, made over 100 its opening weekend worldwide. But it put itself firmly in 5th place above Furiosa, which is sadly been kind of just left in the dust, especially losing a good chunk of its theaters.
Yeah, you either ride or you die.
Now we have Furiosa in 6th place with 59 million. Bad Boys Ride or Die is currently sitting at 62.7. The Garfield movie is at number 4 with 69.7. The Fall Guy is holding up at 85. It's probably going to round out about there too. If is still going strong at 94 million. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is currently reigning supreme. As at 150 mil right now.
I have so many feelings. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, if it's number 1 at the end of the summer,
I'd be so happy.
I wouldn't be mad about it.
I wouldn't be mad. It wouldn't
surprise.
It wouldn't align with my ranking, but I would be so into it. Yeah. I can't believe Garfield is as high as it is.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that some new movies throughout the summer will push it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But Bad Boys is so much higher than I expected. Furiosa is so much lower than I expected.
Yeah.
The start of this summer has for me.
For a lot of these movies too. I mean, but it's not a big blowout summer. The fact that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is sitting on top is kind of crazy. I mean, granted, we've still got like some of the bigger movies of the summer yet to come, but
Deadpool will dethrone it. I think.
100%. I
don't know.
That movie would have to be a wreck for it to not make that money. For it to not cross 150, forget about it. Anyway, the next entry is going to be Inside Out 2, which opens this weekend. So we'll tune in next week for the latest update. Beep, beep, beep.
Beep, 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 beep.
This has been Bye.
What movie is this? This is
100. Hitman.
No, I know.
Oh,
let's do 50. Let's do 50. Hitman.
I'll get you, Hitman.
It's crazy to think that a movie like Barbie, Thor: Love and Thunder, Iron Man 3, Furious 7, all made over $50 million in one weekend. 70, 80. And you have movies here that had barely make it to $85 million, and it took them a month and a half.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway. Let's not talk about movies that released in theaters. Let's talk about a movie that didn't release in theaters.
Finally.
We have our feature discussion, Hitman, starring Glen Powell, who, this was his little baby. He wrote it, produced it, and worked with director Richard Linklater. We have a full cast of people. What do you guys think? I guess I should probably tell you what the movie's about. A professor moonlighting as a hitman of sorts for his... Did you write this, Ed?
I copied it from IMDb.
Oh, okay, because I feel like that word "of sorts" was like a phrase you would say, wouldn't it be? A professor moonlighting whilst as a hitman of sorts for his city police department descends into dangerous, dubious territory when he finds himself attracted to a woman who enlists his services.
We copied this from IMDb.
No, it's very terribly written.
And he's attracted to a woman. Okay,
basically, a guy acts like a hitman, but he's not really a hitman to just pull people in. Like, I want to kill somebody. You've been gotten. The police comes in and then like takes him to jail.
'Tis a tale of entrapment.
There you go. Easier said.
Yeah, they do a lot about in the courthouse. They're like, "This is entrapment," and they're like, "No, it's not." I'm like,
not really.
Okay. All right, I don't know.
This is on Netflix. It released a while ago,
last weekend, but then it had a theatrical run 2 weeks prior, leading up to it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do what we do. Let's go. Ed, Miguel, me. Initial thoughts.
Fine. You guys know I'm the biggest Richard Linklater fan. No, but actually,
a classic Link hater right here.
Dude,
good one. Well done.
That was good. Clip it.
Yeah, clip. So I actually had a good time with this one. Glen Powell obviously is having a moment, and this movie definitely just seemed like the perfect opportunity for him to flex his muscles a little bit, stretch his legs, and his acting chops. And it's kind of a similar tone to Linklater's Bernie, which is the only other movie of his that I like. Perfect. But it has this it's like a black romantic comedy. Like there are some very sinister elements to the whole story, but it's kind of brightened with this like romantic relationship, the chemistry of which is, I don't know, I thought the chemistry was really great between Glen Powell and Adria Arjona. I got distracted. She's beautiful. But the no, yeah. So she's this person who tries to hire him, and they, sparks fly, etc. But this movie takes some interesting twists and turns that I was never fully expecting, which I'm sure we'll get into more spoilers as we go on. But generally speaking, I had a good time with it. I don't think I know some people have made an argument that, oh yeah, you should see this one in the theater.
Yeah.
I'm okay, but I didn't. But like I said, I did enjoy this on a level. This was kind of like a comfort level as Bernie was. And I enjoyed the characters. I thought the chemistry was really good. I thought it went into very dark and interesting places towards the end. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it and seeing what you guys thought. Go.
Miguel, what were your thoughts on Hitman?
Two really quick things. Ed, I can't believe you brought up Bernie, because I would have assumed you hated that movie.
I wouldn't love that movie, but I like that movie a lot.
No, because you don't love any Linklater movie.
Well, that's the one he does like, though.
You'll tolerate this one the most.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen Bernie in forever, but I remember when that came out. It was a moment. But the other thing is, I've read so much that same sentiment. Oh, you should see this movie in the theaters. This movie deserves like a run in the theaters or whatever. And watching it, that was definitely something that I came into it with a hype element. I was like, I'm not really meeting that hype. Like, I definitely am enjoying watching this on my phone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, this is fine. I'm having a good time, but I didn't need to like devote an evening to this.
Right. I mean? Yes. I agree.
I mean, it was something I wanted to throw on and watch with like Sarah. I wanted to give it my full attention,
Yeah.
Because like I said, I was engaged. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll get into it. Luis, your thoughts?
Maybe I wasn't done. I wasn't done sharing my bad. No, just
that was my bad. I railroaded you.
We're done.
I'm done.
Okay. So I think I agree with you, Ed. The chemistry between Glen and Adria, it was really good. This is just like a showcase for Glenny. I feel like this guy's really going to pop up. He's going to be a star. Like, this is just the beginning of what we can actually see him do. He's got Twisters coming up. And I think, if I'm his agent, I'd want to get him some Academy Award winning roles for sure.
Sure.
He can do blockbuster. He can do serious. I think there's a lot of potential. Yeah. A lot of character. Thank you. He can do it pretty grounded, and he's charismatic as well. Like, this is, I'm putting a lot of chips on this guy. So this was, it was fun watching him. It was fun seeing Adria. But honestly, nothing for me really exciting ever happens till near the end of this movie.
I know.
I think this movie's fine. Like, I think it takes too long. I think it meanders a little bit. But maybe that's because it's a Netflix movie where it's like, we're just kind of keeping you on. And it's like, we got to, like, I don't know, the inciting incident, like 40 minutes, 30 minutes in.
Almost
we could have gotten
into it,
right? Yeah, it's like we could have gotten there a little faster.
They do. They kind of jump into it, like the scenario, like
the montage.
I'm a professor. I work for the cops, and all of a sudden, like the first like mission, if you're
right,
they throw him into it. But then, I agree. They do go into that montage.
Like, I get it already. You don't have to keep doing it. To
also like get like butts and seats, if you will. Like, they were like, look at all these fun characters he's playing.
1000%. Yeah.
But that really is just like quick little moments of the movie.
And then I could also say, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think it's just like these moments kept happening, and then after a while, I was like, "Who is this person?" Like, I still don't.
Right.
Usually what you get in the beginning of the movie is like, what's their stakes? What are they going through? What are the problems? What do they have to overcome? And here's this guy just kind of going on a joyride, and it's like, okay, this
seamlessly.
Yeah, it's only when he meets his ex-wife that we start having like a little bit more of understanding who this guy is. Like, he's a loser because he acts like a nerd. Which also, that's the one thing I didn't agree with. I don't think he plays like. I don't believe that he's like a nerd guy.
Right.
Like,
that was
he's
the
very
hardest
beautiful. Like if this was the '80s, maybe you put like a Tom Hanks on there or something like I don't know.
He's too like jagged, like the jaws, right? He's got like dimples, and he's also got creases. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the perfectly trimmed beard. Like if you were a nerd, you'd be clean shaven, kind of deal, or whatever. You know what I mean?
But outside that, he does a phenomenal job contrasting.
They threw glasses on him to be like, look at how fucking loser this guy is.
That's such an old ass move.
Well, his Ron character, which is the persona he wears for most of this movie, and the one that subsequently falls in love with the female character. I feel like that's the Glen Powell that we are all so familiar with. You know what I mean? The kind of like very confident, very smooth talking, very attractive, very sensitive kind of guy that we all know, like Gary. But like that once he gets into that flow, that back and forth, you can discern the two, Gary and
of course.
Don. And then just the other characters are definitely for fun, for the sake of fun. But I've got to say, I definitely enjoyed those characters.
I did too. I think every character he jumped into was very fun.
Yeah, the Wes Anderson-y hitman. That's like British. His British accent, by the way, on point.
What?
Yeah, I was just like silly, yes, but like just perfect for that moment. And I was just like, I buy it. He could get away with it. I've definitely heard worse. But like one interesting thing, and I want to see what you guys thought about this, was like, because like it does take some dark and more twisted turns, and it kind of like pushes the boundaries of I don't know,
morality?
realism, I guess, and morality. But like I first I thought like, this is kind of actually an examination of this kind of like sociopath is existing in these different personas that he's always wanted to be, and he's always kind of been closed off, and we get that through the ex-wife, and that's why maybe I thought they were going to lean harder into that, but they did kind of make it more cut and dry. And then like at the end he chooses to become the character that Don is, the one, because he like during that trial and then his decisions later on, he's like, first it's like, what do you call it, voice dialogue, whatever, you hear his voice saying like, what would Don do? So he starts acting on those instincts, and you see that progressing throughout the movie, and then he slowly just becomes Don, or accepts Don anyway. Don run whatever. But anyway,
I just, to counter what you just said, I hadn't thought about this. I feel like they set him up to feel like maybe a sociopath. But the true sociopath all along was not him, I don't think. You know what I mean?
Like, it was the other bad cop.
Oh,
no. Oh, the woman. I'm sorry.
I was going to say his girlfriend. Like, she was the one that was like manipulative and like made all of these choices throughout the movie.
Yes.
And he was kind of like this naive little do-gooder that just kind of woke up one day and said, well, I'm going to try something different.
Yeah.
And every decision he made was like through like earnest, genuine, kind of heartfelt empathy. And all the while there's everyone kind of around his life, not just her, but like, that kind of treat the world a little more sternly. You know what I mean? I was going to say something earlier. I don't remember what it was, but no.
That's all you had to say, Miguel, of the movie?
That's it. I'm done. That's it. The whole thing. No. I did have some qualms like towards the end of the movie.
Oh man, maybe that's when I locked in.
Yeah, I mean, there were really great moments. One of the things, I didn't have it like spoiled for me, but one of the things I kept reading on Twitter was, the Notes app scene. Oh my god, you guys have to watch the Notes app scene.
Yeah, I mean, that was cool.
And so I came into it going like, Notes like apparently that's gonna make a thing. And right before it happened, I was like, oh, I bet they're gonna have like this whole communication.
Yeah.
I do wish you would just stay the fuck off of Twitter.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is, number one, no, and number two, my algorithm just knows what I'm into. You know what I mean? And so it's
Spoilers.
just like, hey,
they're like, hey,
do you want to talk about movies for a little bit? And I'm like, yeah, let's talk about movies. Oh wait, fuck, I learned too much.
Yeah.
Well, I was really engaged in that scene.
I like that scene a lot,
really well
too.
staged scene. I thought the build up to it was like palpable. Like I thought he was so good in that moment. I thought that was such the chemistry. Like you could tell she's enjoying it, but also like, fuck, this is like
you know what?
Yeah. When they drop those truth bombs, she's like the way she reacts.
Yeah, exactly.
They respond to each other really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things I think the script does is very early on. Does well is very early on they establish that they have this kind of like we can improv with each other, like let's do a bit real quick, you know what I mean? They were at that bar and they were talking about cats or whatever, and they had this whole, and she like did voices, and he was like, you know, he just like all of a sudden was like, I'm acting with you right now, and she did that, and it was like that was kind of like a casual way of setting up like that whole scene later.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
So I thought it was totally believable. But that was kind of the start of the movie for me, where I was like, "Oh, I'm losing some things here," especially by the end. But
man, for a movie about murder, the stakes are so low until they were in danger, and that's why I was like locked in, because I was like, "Oh, finally!"
Because you thought he was always going to be on the inside of the law, and it wouldn't get too far. But yeah, it did. It just kept going on interesting. Journeys, I don't know, and I thought the ending where they've got the spoilers by the way again, the ending where they've got the bad cop wrapped up in a bag and they're kind of professing their love to each other, and he's just slowly suffocating in the background. I was just like, fuck, this is grim, but I kind of dig it. For the end of the story. I did too. If anything, I feel like this movie could embrace more of its weirdness. It is very brief, but
now that's a fair criticism, because they even have that whole scene where the ex-wife is like, "Oh, you need to find someone that basically matches your freak." Yeah. And it's like that becomes a theme later, but it's just like maybe if they had been a little more weird with him, and I know it's kind of odd to say because he's so many characters,
and maybe
it's just
more than one incident where he's getting hired that it goes gets out of control, not just like the love. Because but then again, it's like it's the chemistry of these two that drives the movie. So I don't know.
Well,
it's a hard balance.
I was torn. Yeah, because I really enjoyed that chemistry, but I was also like, oh, all of a sudden we're making choices that I'm like, oh shit, it's like 5 minutes left in this movie, and all of a sudden we're you know, like, oh, okay. And then like how we like resolve the whole thing. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's really nice.
Would you watch this movie again?
Probably yes.
I'm gonna, like, me and Sarah tried to start watching it together in bed the other night, and because I'm getting over the sinus. No. Because I'm getting over the sinus infection. My hearing is still terrible, and in our bedroom the sound isn't so great in that TV. So I was just like, I'm not getting most of the dialogue. Let's switch it off. And I picked it up again the next night. Well, I restarted it the next night to give it my full attention. And but I think Sarah would enjoy it. I think it is a fun movie, kind of like Bernie. It's just kind of like short and sweet to the point, and again, it's engaging enough to make me care. So
nice.
Miguel, I know you don't believe in them, but this is a 4-star movie to me. I'd give it 4 stars.
You know what? Okay, you kind of convinced me.
And that might be just like Glen Powell power that he's on right now.
This is a very calculated move. It is working in a way that's I feel like will do numbers for him, because then he's gonna come out with Twisters, and this is again very selfish. I want Twisters to do well.
Me too.
You know what I mean? But like Glen Powell, like perspective. I'm sorry, public perception of him. You know what I mean? It's only going to
right now. It's good. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has the potential to do a couple of really big things over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
I liked him. I liked her.
Tune in next year when Miguel's like, guys, I don't think I like Glen Powell.
Well, I don't like Glen Powell anymore.
You know what? We can talk offline, but I know what you're getting at. Okay, I'm just letting you know. I have a very specific line of thought about that. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'd give it like a 3.5, and I would probably watch it if it was on TNT, and then I'm just like, oh, it's on, or like somebody already played it, but I don't know if I would actively.
Well, you know what? I think it's on Netflix, so you can just watch it any.
But then I have to actively make the decision.
Yeah, you should just like put your own commercials on, because why wouldn't you want life more miserable?
Are you saying why wouldn't I just let the TV play and make decisions for me so I don't just stress out and use my mental capacity for that? I could just like...
I don't know. Just make a choice and say, Hitman.
Well, sometimes it's not easy to make choices.
No,
like
trust me.
I
I will have all 3, 4, 5 movie streaming apps open, and I'll be jumping between them.
Yeah, you will.
Trying to make a decision.
Yes.
It's like, what am I in the mood for? I watched Cold Mountain the other day. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But you know what? Renee Zellweger is great in that movie.
Renee.
Are you really gonna
that's kind of my bit. That's kind of my bit, you know?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna actually start a new segment here.
What?
Oh god.
You guys, I wrote it in the notes.
What is this?
We can talk about this now. Is the segment.
Okay.
Do we click on it? No.
You don't click on it. So basically what's been happening is we've been texting, and then we get very heated about things that we say, like hot takes that we say on our text chain.
Okay.
And then we start talking, and then it's like, oh, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
You know, we always talk about it's a GIF from fucking Schitt's Creek, and he's like, well, he's shaking away. We'll talk about this later. So we're gonna talk about this now. Okay.
Okay. We can talk about this now.
Okay, let's talk about this now.
All
Number
right.
one, the one thing I want to talk about right now, Garfield the movie.
Okay.
Miguel, you went and saw Garfield.
I did.
And
Oh my god, I'm like jumping out of my seat right now. Louise, this is a solid segment, okay? I love that you threw this on us right now. I'm so ready to talk about this dumb shit movie, Garfield. Okay, so I said it earlier. Can I go?
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, I said it earlier. Like, I saw it in a whole theater. It was like at least 120 seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big ass screen, and it was the 3 of us, and we sat in our seats like we didn't even like move. At one point, I thought I'm kind of like to the left, and I know
send her up.
I was like, should we move down a little bit? And she was like, I don't care. I was like, all right, me too. I got on my phone and played Sudoku at one point.
So it was a good movie, basically.
and then like I would just start talking, like in the middle of the movie. I would be like, Garfield, am I right? You know what I mean? Like, it was a terrible movie, number one. Okay, and then just the experience overall, I was like, okay, it's fine. Terrible's a little strong. It was just so movie. You know what I mean?
I've heard it's just flat as like.
But I want to know why. Like, is it like Mario or is it Super Mario Brothers, where it's just kind of straightforward?
Chris Pratt does not do, and I'm not going to go on this. Okay, he does not even attempt a Garfield voice. This is the laziest voiceover acting of all of Chris Pratt's career. Okay, like we went home and we got on Amazon and they were showing like a bunch of the Garfield cartoons.
Yes.
Think about the Bill Murray movie. Like, Bill Murray is Bill Murray, but he was also just so naturally like pointed for that Garfield voice.
He has the natural cadence for it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And Chris Pratt was just like, I'm talking and I'm a cat, and I'm just like, man, this is okay, I guess, you know. And
what was the like? He the Odie gets trapped, or he finds his family, or like what? Okay,
no, Garfield. That's the whole movie. Think about Up. Think about the first 10 minutes of Up, where they're like, "Isn't this movie amazing?" And you're like, "Give it an Oscar." That's what they were going for with Garfield. The first 10 minutes of this movie, Ed, lock in. The first 10 minutes of this movie. Garfield's a baby and he's got big eyes, and oh my god, his dad left him, like Oliver and Company style.
Okay.
And then he meets John at a pizza restaurant, and John feeds him, oh my god, 32 pizzas before they leave because Garfield likes Italian food. And it's just like,
Can I just say, like, Garfield is a character that was intended for grown-ups for the most part. Like, the humor is based on grown-up humor. Like, I hate Mondays. Kids don't hate Mondays, really. Grown-ups do.
When that Monday bit came up for the first time, it was like, yeah.
And, like,
he was.
I told you guys you should have taken lasagna, but, like, have a good snooze halfway through.
I mean, come on.
Just like pass up.
It seemed from not even, and I hate, like, it's not even just Chris Pratt. It was the writing, the direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The animation, the acting.
Wow.
There was a couple of standout actors, but it wasn't Garfield. And in general, it just was like, I bet this was the easiest paycheck.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, and look at what happened. It like seems like the easiest money grab. You know, it's just like they didn't even have to try. The fucking thing is making money because
it's making more money than Furiosa.
Yeah, it's for right now. It's the only children's option to go to in the theater.
Right.
So
well, there's also If, which is
there's
winning.
If, but you know, live action can also be like, you know, trivial for kids. You know, they want to watch a cartoon.
My kid picked Garfield between the two because we were kind of pushing the other one.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I want to watch Garfield.
Makes sense. Yeah,
Lily is the same. Lily wants to see cartoons most. Like, we have to talk her into live action, or I'm just like, we're watching The Adventures of Robin Hood. Deal with it. But yeah.
Okay. So that was Garfield movie. That was one thing.
Let's go. What's next?
All right. The second thing is we got really heated about Challengers. Challengers got released on MGM Plus. And then Miguel, you sent a Twitter link of it like being streamed, and you're like, oh yeah, people are pissed off that it's on MGM Plus, so they just leaked it on Twitter. And then Ed was like, I would be really pissed off about it too. That's so fucked up or something. Do you remember this, Ed? You were really heated about the fact that it was on MGM Plus.
Because, like, what's the fucking point? Like, who has MGM Plus?
Could you name like MGM properties that you could group together in a streaming service?
Rocky.
Okay, both of you fuck yourselves, okay? I was obviously talking shit. Cut it back.
But you're right. I mean, it is very... But that's the problem with all of these studios doing their own singular... And MGM
you both were just like, oh, I'm sorry, the most famous movie studio service of all time, MGM? Obviously, Miguel.
But no, it's like a weak attempt to just draw in...
But what I'm saying is that these people are a company. Like, what do you expect them to do? Not have a streaming service or not get people to watch their stuff? Like, what is a strategy where it's like, oh, let's just put it on Netflix? Like, no, I want people to get eyeballs on my service. Get a free subscription, watch it, and then do what you will. You know, Peacock did this for Thursday Night Football, or like a big playoff game, a wild card game. And they were like, what the fuck? Where's my wild card game on Peacock? What the fuck is that? I mean, and then they got a huge subscription because of it. Like, what do you expect these businesses to do to get viewers into their platform, if not have exclusive moments? I mean, they do that with magazines where they get exclusive pictures of like behind the scenes of movies. You need to have exclusivity in this stuff, you know, or no? Am I?
I just want to say, I don't think MGM is grateful that you're comparing them to magazines.
Well,
I mean, they're not a strong name anymore. I mean,
well, how can they get strong if they don't get movies like this on their?
Is MGM the lion? The lion roaring? That is right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's up there. Okay.
But no, I mean, I do. Yeah, I see your point. But it is just like it is more so that very singular, like with Paramount Plus too. I feel like. I mean, I know Paramount's a big... What?
We use Paramount Plus way too often. I can't believe
I do.
I haven't deleted it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you use it because of the kids shows. There's a lot of kids stuff on there, right?
Yes. Yeah. Boys into SpongeBob now, so here we are.
Yeah.
And I've just rotated. You know, Paramount is where I'm at currently. I guess watch out, MGM, here I come. But because
you
I
rotate,
love
like I cancel my subscription, I start a new one.
My subscription in my Prime, so it's like a channel. So I currently have the Paramount Plus channel through my Prime, but it's
next month you're going to switch to someone else.
No, it's usually like a year or so. It's like if I'll hold. What's the point otherwise? You
ever like pre-cancel your subscription to be like, oh, I want to watch this show. I'll just pre-cancel it.
I have
it for a
calendar
month.
reminders on my phone to be like, Miguel, cancel it today. You know what I mean?
It would just be like, when the time is right, it's right.
All right.
Like when the wind changes.
We'll talk about this next week. We'll talk about this later.
We can talk about this later.
We can talk about this later.
Yeah,
okay. A couple more. What?
If we're talking about it later, what is later? Like
next week, we'll talk about another thing that we got heated about was, Miguel, you took a screenshot of something to showcase us something.
Oh, okay.
And then I saw that you had a Chrome browser, and then I was like,
oh,
what
you
the hell?
Do this? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I was like, why do you have the Chrome browser, and why don't you use the Safari browser? And then you were like, okay.
Okay, obviously I've been traveling. I was like 2 days into Texas by the time I texted you that. No, I have Chrome. Okay, like I think it's the superior. I use Google Maps. Okay, I think it's absolutely the superior product. You know what I mean? Suck my dick if you disagree. Okay, but I was blown away that you were like, whoa, 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 whoa. No Safari in the main apps. I was like, I deleted that shit as soon as possible. Like, I'd rather have Mozilla Firefox in this.
Okay, but hold on. When you open up your Chrome browser, how long does it take to open up? When you click it and it's like,
not at all. I'm sorry, not at all. I open Chrome and it's there. I play New York Times games every single fucking morning. I have 32 tabs open. Right away,
it doesn't like load too long. I remember when I had the Chrome browser, it was like, "Oh, why don't you eat a bagel? It's going to take a while."
Luis, we can talk about this off the podcast, okay? But I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. Like,
we can talk about this now, Miguel.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, out of three of us,
I just say
someone has ADHD,
Luis,
and if the thing is 5 seconds longer than you expect it to be, you're like, delete. Okay.
I'm just saying, when there's a better way to live, why not live that way?
I just have never, with respect, okay, I've never opened Safari and thought, oh, thank God I'm opening Safari.
Okay, well, you know what's funny though?
Why do you think that way about opening a browser in the first place? Like,
there's different experiences, Ed. Like, obviously.
hang
on though. Like, Luis, how do you get your maps?
Okay, hold on. Okay. So I used to be on Google Maps. Okay. And because Apple Maps was really bad at like seeing where I am on the street and labeling things, but then
Apple Maps has stepped up.
They have stepped up, and then I got my Apple Watch now, and my Apple Watch connects with my Apple Maps really well, so it can always notify me where it's going on. And because of all that, and also sometimes I share my ETA with Sarah when I'm coming home, and I'm saying like, "Oh, traffic's building up. Let me share my ETA with you so you can track it with me." Because of all that, I did shift from Google to Apple Maps. Now, I'm making fun of you for using Chrome browser in your phone, but truthfully, when I'm on my actual like desktop of my Mac, I don't use Safari. I use Chrome. So
you were just trying to rile me up on this shit, okay? We were basically both like, live your life, everything's chill, and you were like, I don't know, Miguel.
I don't even remember this happening, but
all right, well, we're going to move on away from Miguel. We're going to go to Ed now.
The fourth thing we're talking about is Ed's memory.
No, the thing we're talking about with Ed is Miguel was sharing an app, a Twitter link with us. Excuse me, an X link. No, I'm kidding. A Twitter link, a tweet. And Ed was like, I can't open this. I don't have the app. And both of us were like, wait a second. When you got your new phone, you were like, "Oh yeah, I can open up these links now," and I can. And so
because we were both but now they're not.
Wait, but did you never have the Twitter app in the first place?
No.
So when you opened it, what happened?
Opening it would Safari, just open,
it would open in my Safari browser, and maybe it's Safari. Maybe I need Chrome to open these fucking tweets. But yeah, no. Every time and I guess just recently, I don't know. I don't keep track of it. I'm trying to see if I have one pulled up. Yeah, hang on. All right.
Like,
Well,
you can't look at
that's a
Twitter unless
picture,
you're
but
in an app, right?
but
'Cause
like,
you have to be
if
logged
I-
in.
Okay, so
That's what I hate about Twitter.
So somebody
Okay.
sent me this tweet. Okay.
Okay.
And down here it has like the comments, because you guys often say like read through the
comments.
thread.
Yeah.
The thread.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's not an option for me. Like, if where would I go to get
You have to
thread?
log in to do that.
Right. No, exactly. So I can't do that, and I'm not going to.
I mean, just imagine having a face,
Hold on,
you
Ed.
know, and that you could use.
We
to
have
log
a
into
Punch
things.
Drunk Nerd Twitter account, though. You could just use the
Oh,
Punch Drunk Nerd Twitter account.
well, I guess I could, but like,
You could run that, to be honest.
You could.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
no.
Wouldn't that be so funny if our Twitter was already not being viewed by people and you could say whatever you wanted?
It's true.
okay?
I think we have like 2 followers on Twitter.
Those 2 followers would be like, "Whoa, they got
What are you
kinda
guys
spicy
doing?
all of
Miguel,
a
you're on
sudden."
Twitter all day. Why are you like posting in the name of PDM?
I should. You know what? No, I'm not going to get into it. But the simplicity of like app switching or account switching in apps is paramount to me. Paramount plus to me. Okay.
It's easier with Instagram's easier than Twitter to switch it, right?
Yeah, 100%. Instagram
Yeah.
is the easiest. Thread finally integrated it.
TikTok is very easy to switch to as well between
I'm
profiles.
learning that now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to do a TikTok a little bit more because Steven's send us so many
TikToks.
TikToks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Good for him.
I'm learning
Ed, so that
much.
makes sense. You don't have the app. That's why you don't have a login, because we were like, Ed, how do you not have a handle? And then you
Yeah.
question marked me after I even clarified it even more by saying to Ed's account, like, what's your a Twitter account? And you questioned
I
me,
was
and then
just
I
like, but
questioned you.
I genuinely don't know, because I didn't remember making one.
Okay.
So I thought you were.
But we
referring
did
to
have a
past-
whole conversation where you were like, "Oh, I'm logged into Punch Drunk Nerd." You know what I mean? Luis remembers that. I
Yeah.
remember
More,
that.
I do
more
remember that
likely
too.
than not, like it was either the Google or the Instagram. You know,
It's
guys,
like
I
the
do not
cloud was
venture.
so-
I do not venture beyond that. Sorry, I'm bored. Like Reddit. Do we have a Reddit?
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm a simple man.
I think that's it. I could do one more, but I feel like we could just move on, right? That was a good amount.
I'm afraid of what the next
I
one
love
might
that
be.
bit.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
We can talk about this now. I love it.
Sorry.
It'll
So I can
replace.
stop
I think
playing
it'll
that.
replace what do you do or what are you into? You know what I mean? Like we could talk about this now. I love that.
That's pretty good. Well, do you want to do what we're into, or do you want to talk about that later?
Well, I mean, it's up to you. Ed's got a lot.
Not a lot. I mean, I'll breeze over it.
I was going to streamline mine too, like real quick.
Okay. Go for it. What we're into.
Is it
We're into
my
what we're
turn?
into. Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, it's Miguel with what I'm into. Okay.
Listen to me.
I did this a couple weeks ago, but I sat down and I watched M. Night Shyamalan's. I'll do them all real quick. I watched M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable, Split, and Glass within a week of each other. Guys, have you seen this movies? Have you seen any of these movies?
I've seen 2 of them.
I've seen 2 of them.
So I watched Glass. Okay, I finished it out. Okay, and I will say two out of 3 of these movies are kind of really good. Okay,
Yeah. I'm
It's not
guessing
Glass, okay?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's why I didn't watch it.
I can tell you very quickly why I think Glass does not work as like streamlined as I can. Is first off, they cram in Anya Taylor-Joy from Split. She just did not need to be in this movie.
For Glass?
They were like, we're tying all of these movies together. I thought the most unfortunate thing about Glass was Bruce Willis's performance, because if we all know, like he was going through like health issues kind of around this time, and so his performance is very just like
Okay.
on paper, you know what I mean? He's like doing it, and most of anything great that he does, his character does, you can tell it's like they cut away to like a stunt actor or whatever. So that was kind of unfortunate. I did really enjoy the nuance of Samuel L. Jackson's Glass character.
Mhm.
I just don't think they put him in the center enough, and I guess that was kind of the twist. Also, Sarah Paulson, her whole twist, like, and this is like an M. Night Shyamalan twist of a movie. Sarah Paulson shows up and her whole character, you're like, oh, okay, I see what we're doing.
Brick, something like that.
Exactly. No, I think if I just really quickly rank these movies, Split would be the number one, Unbreakable would be number two. I did see Unbreakable in theaters. I was about 8 or 9 years old when that movie came out, and the only thing I really want to talk about that movie is it scared the living shit out of me. Okay, you guys know that moment where, like, towards the end of the movie, he's walking through the train station or whatever, and he's like touching all the people, and then he touches the janitor or whatever, and he's like held a family hostage, right? And he like killed the dad, and Bruce Willis shows up and he like saves the kids. But the mom is dead, and he fights the guy, and like, I don't know if he kills him or like whatever, and then he gets arrested or whatever. That was like the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced as a 9-year-old. Okay, I was like, what do you mean someone can break into my house? Okay,
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, whoa, what? Like, that was Dad, you got this, right? Like, that was terrifying as a child. And I thought he really kind of elaborated that element with the whole kidnapping aspect of the three girls in Split. Just real quick, if we're talking Glen Powell in Hitman, and I'm talking fucking
James
McAvoy in Split, I mean, that's like worlds apart. Like, Glen Powell definitely had really great moments as characters, but obviously James McAvoy, it was like doing that shit. You know what I mean? He was like 20 different people in that movie. So yeah, no, that was just kind of my overall whatever. Unbreakable. I would tell you guys to watch Glass. I thought the twist itself was like worthy enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the performance was really good. I did just think that, maybe a little too late, maybe a little too shoehorned. The first two movies, Unbreakable, Split, are the best of the franchise.
It's good to know going ahead of it. If I watch it, just be, okay, just lower my expectations, and maybe that'll
help. Yeah, they're great moments, but I just don't think they're
great.
Can I ask what spurred this on? Was it the movie that his daughter just released, or the one he's got coming out?
What was it? It was Furiosa, Anya Taylor-Joy. And I was like, you know what? I never saw Split. Like, and it was on Netflix or something.
Sure, yeah.
And I had before that, I had also asked about getting Unbreakable because I hadn't seen it in a while. And then I was like, okay, she's coming out Furiosa. Let me watch Split. And then by the time I watched Split, and I thought Split was amazing.
Yeah,
I was like, well, I have to watch the third one now because like I have to see where they're going with it. And it was fine.
Damn, people were so hyped for that movie too. Yeah. After Split,
man, that's what I'm saying. It's like that felt like really shoehorned things. I feel like it could have stopped after Split. It didn't need to be.
We didn't talk about this, but speaking of something that people are hyped about that could end badly, is there was news about the Blade director leaving.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
And that was today.
That was today, and on Wednesday, and I was just like, man, I just feel like this is a lost cause by now. Like you said, this would have been killer in another lifetime.
I'm saying,
it's just like the plot's been all over, the creator's been all over. Like, we've already delayed it so many times, and I just, even if they did a good, like, it's just not gonna.
Think about this. Matt Reeves's Batman movie survived COVID and became like, depending on how you feel about it, arguably one of the better Batman movies. You know what I mean? And Blade still hasn't come out. You know what I mean? Like, I do remember when he walked out on stage and they were like, Mahershala Ali, and it was like, what the fuck? And then he puts that little hat on and he's like, I'm Blade. You know? Like, people wanted that.
Yeah.
People wanted it.
At this stage, it's hard to believe that they have like a clear vision of how to approach this character. Not. Yeah, like they're better off just leaving it alone.
Yeah,
no questions.
They don't have a clear vision, and then they're gonna like make it. They're gonna try to complete it like a year, and it's like, oh, dude, you're already so behind. And you need more time
maybe
to prep it.
Later on down the line in Mahershala Ali's career, it'll kind of revamp, but like again with a clear.
Just do
vision.
it after Avengers War, like after Kang
like,
Dynasty and Secret Wars.
Let it be its own thing.
Just show up in this new like in between era or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And please
Anyway.
don't be like a series. Maybe.
I'm so over it. I'm so over TV.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched The Acolyte, to be honest.
A lot of people haven't. So
I'm just like, after Ahsoka and Boba, I'm like, oof, dude. I don't know if I can do these.
Can't get it up anymore.
Hey, baby.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Real quick, guys. Before I went even more deaf, I got to see Vampire Weekend in concert.
Oh, cool. Yes.
Because we don't just see movies on Punch Drunk Nerd. We enjoy music and games and other stuff. And I just wanted to give it a shout out because it was a really cool show. I wouldn't recommend taking a pregnant woman to it, but she wanted to go.
Why?
And we did end up leaving a little early because of that. But it was a great show. They obviously just released a new album. But yeah, they're doing a tour right now. Houston was the first stop, and it was great.
You guys were the first stop?
Yeah, because they
that's
just
kind of dope.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. They just played a festival,
right?
Yeah, they just played a festival in Austin, but Houston was the first official stop of their tour. So, and it was dope. I had a really good time. So, shout out to Vampire Weekend. I've been doing like a little bit of. I've just been all over Netflix lately, I guess.
You've been chilling.
Watched Godzilla -1 the other day. It was great. Baby Reindeer, Luis, you brought this up.
I did.
And man, like it was like you and then my sister reached out to me out of nowhere, telling me to check out Baby Reindeer. And so I did, and holy fuck, I knew nothing about it going into it. And I'm not going to go into spoilers because, Miguel, I think you should give it a go.
I do really want to watch it. It's on my list.
You and Kristen would both like it.
I won't talk about it too much, but obviously the less you know, the better. I haven't followed up with any of the other stuff that's been happening because I avoided it to avoid spoilers going into it. Because again, just no idea how crazy this story gets. And it is like overall very devastating, but very powerful. So it's, I don't know, I just like completely blindsided by it. So yeah, would recommend to anybody. But just like be prepared.
Be prepared.
And then also, Luis, I feel like I was late to this one. It was constantly at the back of my mind. I don't know what like caused me to just finally do it, but I watched Beef. The Netflix series with Ali Wong and Steven Yeun, and
the Emmy Award
Beef, another one that really kind of blindsided me at how crazy it actually got. The second to last episode is just fucking wild. Both of them are really good. Everybody's really good in it. Again, could also be very triggering for some audiences, but like it was, just crazy. Just how wild it got, and I was a big fan of Steven Yeun after Minari, and then I haven't really seen anything of Ali Wong.
Yeah, The Walking Dead is what you meant.
I haven't seen Walking Dead.
Invincible, obviously.
Yeah, he did voice that guy.
That one role in Nope.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I liked him in Nope. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, good actor.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a reason why both of those actors won Emmys and SAG awards, and just the whole series won awards.
And you gave it a shout out last year. It was like one of your favorites, right?
I don't know if I got a punchy or something, but definitely got some sort of shout out from us.
No, really good show.
It just starts off with some beef between this person and the other, like a some conflict in the parking lot. And then they just take it personally. And then it just builds into this other thing.
Yeah, you find, they're just two people that, like, two very similar, but also not, like, junctures in their life. And one thing just leads to another. It's just like this ripple effect. And, yeah, just kind of crazy, kind of fun single series.
Well done, fun romp.
Yeah,
it's comedic. There's a lot of like, oh shit,
yeah,
what's going to happen? I feel like some of those are always like good Netflix shows when you're always like, oh shit. And I feel like both of these kind of have those elements of
same with, Baby Reindeer, like, but that's like, oh shit. Yeah. Wow. No, good. I've been watching some great TV lately, I gotta say. So me's so happy. Ever since I got my Wi-Fi back, I've been going on a fucking sprint.
Ed, you have to go to work.
But yeah, no, it's been good.
I've been busy, so I haven't been able to really get into anything. I did IGN Live, which is our IGN's very first fan forward event. Obviously, yeah. So E3 will always like introduce new games and stuff like that. So this is kind of like our foray into the thing situation where we're filling that void. You know, right now they have Summer of Gaming, or Summer Game Fest. That's what's called, Summer Game Fest. But that's only for media people. There isn't a place for, you know, casual fans to come and experience early demos or previews or interviews with high-end talent, not just for video games, but for movies. Obviously, we have that for Comic-Con. But we're filling in that video game void. So we did it for the first time this past week. And this is one of those shirts.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And so I was super busy. I wasn't able to really watch anything. So
find us on YouTube to see Luis's t-shirt.
Yeah, thank you.
Punch Drunk Nerd.
This episode was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to be out here for 2.5 hours, to be honest.
Oh, we talked about a lot.
We did. Which is
a lot of
I was surprised about.
Yeah.
We're getting better.
Next week, we're going to talk about Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that comes out. You guys excited for Inside Out 2?
I'm seeing it. I'm going to take my kids to see it.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Tune in next week. We'll talk about Inside Out 2. It's been me, Luis Gonzalez, and with me's been
Miguel Sanchez
and Ed Bull.
And until next time, later, Gators.